In the last video, I went into detail on how Sasami turned into a tree god, like cracking her head. But after uploading it, I realized that I missed out on a lot of stuff. I basically went in there assuming everyone knew what I was talking about before I started talking, and some bits of context slipped through the cracks. So I thought I'd do a follow-up and explain more aspects of the show, mostly a deeper dive into the characters and the setting. I thought about doing this because I showed the video to a bunch of friends, and most of them came out of it the same, that they didn't know what I was talking about but they liked my energy. So I just thought about doing a follow-up video to smooth out some cracks. So I'm gonna go through the main synopsis, the characters, and the mixed cannons. So load the spaceship with the carrot fuel and hop aboard. So Tenchi Muyo as a whole is about a teenage boy failing upwards into a space polycule and royalty, and a special force that's totally not Star Wars. I'll be covering the Ryo-Ohki and GXP continuities, and if it's not obvious, spoilers for this 30-plus-year-old anime. Tenchi Muyo has 7 to 8 different series, movies, and spin-offs. We have the OVAs, Ryo-Ohki, and the sequels, Tenchi Universe, where the cast is on the run from the government, Tenchi in Tokyo, where Tenchi goes to Tokyo, Tenchi Muyo GXP, where Tenchi's luck paradox of a next-door neighbor becomes a space cop, War on Gemini, Tenchi's half-brother becomes a POW at a princess school with giant fighting robots, I, Tenchi Muyo, where Tenchi becomes a teacher, and Sasami Magical Girls Club, where Sasami and her school friends become magical girls, sort of like a grade school version of Sailor Moon. Oh hey look, it's Washu as one of the teachers. Jesus Christ, someone get another teacher! Mahoshi! What is she doing here? There are also the movies, Tenchi in Love, Tenchi Forever, and Daughter of Darkness. The first two are great, but I suggest you skip Daughter of Darkness. Now the continuity can be summed up by one person, Kiyone, and whether she wants to wear her hair green or white for that day. See, green-haired Kiyone is a part of the universe, and that's not canon. So anything with green-haired Kiyone is considered non-canon. So that includes Tenchi Universe, Tenchi in Tokyo, and the movies. But you could say that about any anime movie. White-haired Kiyone is Tenchi's mum, but we'll get into that later. Trust me, it gets kind of crazy. So to wrap that up, green-haired Kiyone is not canon, but white-haired Kiyone is. But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. Like, the internet's obsession with canon is weird. Like, you could say you like Dragon Ball GT. Then someone will jump down your throat saying, "Oh, it's not canon, but it's not canon." So what? I still like it. Super Saiyan 4 is cool. What do you expect me to say? Oh, it's not canon? Oh, I guess I should stop watching it then. Hell no. Like what you like. As long as you're not hurting anyone, who cares?
You ever think about space?
Let's start off with the main character, Tenchi. In the last episode, I explained that he sounded like a young Ray Romano, but I didn't give you any examples. All I did was a really bad Kermit the Frog impression, so here's a couple examples.
So that means if I give the jewels back to you, the demon will come back to life? Forget it!
All right, that's enough. You know, Grandpa's very fussy about keeping the shrine clean. It's a mistake, I tell ya! Ryoko, you better tell the truth right now, I'm not kidding!
Man, he's whiny. Tenchi is the main character of the show. If his name on the title isn't enough of a big clue, what does Tenchi Muyo even mean? It must mean something really cool, like King Tenchi, or Tenchi Dynamite. Dynamite! Alright. So Tenchi's just a regular 15-year-old high school student. He mostly hangs around his grandpa's shrine, helps him out, and his grandpa teaches him kendo. He is also the descendant of an ancient royal family on the planet Durai. It's space! And he's the holder of the Lighthawk Wing. The whole Lighthawk Wing thing only lasted like 5 episodes in the first OVA, and it wasn't really mentioned again after that. Maybe a couple of times like in GXP, but I didn't find any. Tenchi's a stock standard harem protagonist. He doesn't really do much, he just lets everything else happen around him, but is a chill dude.
Why don't you go home and watch The Late Show, Pops?
Why don't you just go home? A little test tube, baby.
Ryoko is a demon space pirate, who in the Ryo-Oki continuity is also a science experiment, run by Washu, who combined little balls of matter and one of her ovums to create this test tube baby. She also did it with Ryo-Oki, but I think she spliced it with cat and rabbit DNA as well, and a spaceship. Harem animes tend to run on archetypes. You have the childhood friend, the rich girl, or in Ryoko's case, the overly flirty one. Almost every shot with her and Tenchi, she's glomming all over him and everything. Like sure, she was locked up in a tomb for a long time and managed to somehow imprint herself onto Tenchi. She explicitly said that she maybe one day wanted to play with him, but it turns out she didn't know what kind of game she wanted to play first. In the first episode, after she was released, she decided to follow Tenchi to school and blow up the place, basically chasing him down the hallway with a sword, like some kind of extreme tag. So Tenchi on instinct just lobs her hand off. She disappears, he goes back home and finds her in his bed.
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
You are the most wonderful husband and son I ever had.
Ayaka is a Jiraiyan princess and formerly betrothed to her half-brother, Yosho, when she was a child. See, this is why I warned you people. This might be a little bit... I bloody hate it when I have to dive into this shit and find out there's a bunch of fucking child brides. That's horrible. Not only that, but their brother and sister. Their kids are gonna be born with an extra toe. 6 fingers on each hand. Luckily, Yosho had some fucking sense and hid away on Earth and married someone else his own age. Editor's note. I just realized that Yosho's hugging his current wife in front of his former fiancée. How messed up is that? But that doesn't mean he wouldn't offer up his grandson in return. Fucking space hillbillies, I swear. So Ryoko and Ayaka are both slated to be the 2 options, or at least the 2 main options for Tenchi. They're both on the cover art and in the intro depicted as always bickering over who's getting a little bit too close to Tenchi, while everyone else is kind of doing their own thing. They really want you to choose which one's the best girl, and collectively the fan base chose Ryoko as the best girl, because Ayaka, she's just doing it to continue the bloodline, like she's entitled to Tenchi or something. Sure, she has that regal, polite, kind aura around her, but there's this hint of arrogance. And the moment Ryoko opens her mouth, Ayaka reverts to a toddler, screaming about a kid playing with her toy. She wasn't even interested in Tenchi until Yosho tells her that they're related, which is a weird sentence to say out loud. Why can't she be like her sister? We already went through Sasami's journey into godhood, but we didn't go through who Sasami is as a person. Sasami is the mature younger sister of Ayaka, which isn't really too hard to do, considering that all Ayaka does is fight with Ryoko. She spends most of her time helping out in the kitchen, cooking and cleaning, and having fun with Ryo-Oki. Tenchi and Sasami have like this big brother little sister energy, where Tenchi actually treats her like a younger sister, which is pretty sweet, which technically she's 3 Earth years younger than Tenchi. I say Earth years because I have no idea what the time zone is between Earth and space, because technically Tenchi's older sister is 80, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Sasami's alter ego, Tsunami, is a part of a trio of gods known as the Chojin, alongside Washu and Tokimi, who, oh my god, look at her! It's a cute little bumblebee, look at her! She's so tiny, oh my god! I could just pick her up and put her in my pocket. She's so cute!
I'll show you cute!
Anyway, their whole mission was literally the thought process of, can God make a burrito so hot that even he can't touch it? The answer is, kinda? They kinda had to push the reset button once everything went to shit. And half the fucking world's exploded! Again, it's a little confusing, but once you watch the show, it kind of makes sense. My mortal brain can't handle it. I have to make a confession. Mahoshi isn't as dumb as I portrayed her in the last video. I mean, she can be dumb as a rock, but she is competent in her job as a police officer. This is kind of like the Star Wars extended universe kind of thing where you have to read the books. But Mahoshi was a high-ranking officer until this one incident which was implied that had something to do with brainwashing or something, I don't know. But it was a traumatic event in her career. Again, I don't read the books, I just watched the show. And in the show, all we got was like this brief flash. And I'm not spending $200 on some old books that I have no idea if they're in English or not. Mahoshi is the comic relief, needing partners that are basically just glorified babysitters. But at the end of the day, she does a good job.
I am mad scientist. It's so cool. Son of a bitch.
Washu is the brains of the operation, always in her lab, working on experiments and making adjustments to the house. She made that floating bathhouse. She made a pocket dimension in the bathroom, so when the girls touch the door, they get transported to a bathhouse. Or when the boys do it, it's just a regular bathroom. I tell ya, she loves her pocket dimensions. She has this kind of Dexter's Laboratory rivalry with Mahoshi, where Mahoshi comes in to her lab and decides to push random buttons, then gets frightened because she's being told not to touch buttons, which makes her want to touch more buttons to fix the problem, but creating more problems? Mahoshi, stop! Besides this funny Pinky and the Brain dynamic, there's this underlying resentment that I've picked up on. Now, this might be a theory, but walk with me for a second. Mahoshi's family was the reason why Washu's child got taken away. Now, it's not Mahoshi's fault. She wasn't even born yet at the time. But you have to think, living with a family member of the people who took your child away, that must really take a toll on your psyche. And this is getting a little bit too introspective. So let's move on. What else? Oh yeah, she has little puppets that gas her up.
You Washu, you're the greatest! You Washu, you're the genius! Washu, you're the one! Hooray!
She likes to be called Little Washu. And here's some clips of a robot she built of herself, accidentally merging with Mahoshi's intelligence.
You know what? I'm getting kind of hungry.
Hey, you are too?
Hey, are you too? Rider! Are you ready for this? Mecha Washu! Punch! Stop it!
What?
Uh-oh. Come on! I got her!
Kione, you have to listen to me!
These guys are really ganging up on me, Kione. And they're really getting in my way.
What are you talking about? Now, tell me, where is the switch for its power?
The power switch is behind her neck.
Wow!
Wow! It's a great show! You are such a good girl! Now hold still for me, okay?
Wow! Wow!
Wow! Wow! Wow! Wow!
and now merging with Ryoki's intelligence.
What? Ah! Meow!
This must be...
Rio, okay? Meow!
Now this is funny.
Now isn't that fun? So we established all of the possible wives: a space pirate, the world's smartest mad scientist, 2 princesses, and a daughter of the most powerful family in the universe, and a spaceship, all under one roof, until the last OVA, where Lady Sato, the Devil Princess of Jirai, head of the Royal Jiraiyan family, decides to send down an arranged marriage. Her own adopted daughter, Nuike.
This edible ain't shit.
Nuike is also a high-ranking Galaxy police officer, and was partnered with Mahoshi. She has a no-nonsense attitude, but most of the time she is very soft-spoken and kind. She's actually a really good addition to the family, usually using her negotiation skills to settle arguments.
That is why I'm here, to help out.
I can help with the field work too, you know.
Yes, and I can do some work too.
Right. You'll just get your logs to do it for you.
And so what? My loyal servants will be happy to assist me.
Which means you won't actually be doing any of the helping, doesn't it?
Well, who are you to talk? You'll probably just summon one of your demon monsters to do all your work for you.
Now, you two. Why don't I teach you guys how to drive? Then you can both take turns helping.
Huh? That's a great idea, Noike. Thanks.
Managing the kitchen, managing Mahoshi.
Mihoshi? Only 2 croquettes per person! I'm sorry, and don't put food back after you've touched it! Sorry!
Say there, Tenchi. Care for seconds?
Why, yes I would. Thank you for asking.
The household needed someone to take control, and I'm glad that it's Nuike. Although, she did specify that their marriage is more of a formality.
I couldn't help but overhear. Incidentally, I'd like to thank you both for all of your hard work today. Without everyone's cooperation, I'm afraid it would be nearly impossible to keep this house under control.
Yeah, well, no one ever said we needed to be kept under control.
Space pirate Ryoko and her pirate ship Ryo-Oki. Second-generation Jiraiyan ship Ryu-O and the founding tree Tsunami. Mihoshi Kuramitsu. And of course the woman who created the ship that single-handedly stood up to the Jiraiyan fleet, Washu Hakubi. Living together under this one roof, you're a military might that rivals any in the galaxy. I've been sent here to keep an eye on you.
What?
Like I said, my being Tenchi's fiancé is only a pretense. The truth is, I may actually be called upon to turn against him if the political situation warrants it.
When she was introduced, she was just having a walk, and came across Tenchi's carrot bed, and saving Ryoki. Yes, Ryoki has a human form catch up, and offers to help Tenchi with his garden in exchange for his carrots. Little did she know that she just met the man she was going to marry, so technically this would be her carrot bed. She even invested in a truck for Tenchi.
Noike, what about me? I know how to drive.
You aren't laying so much as a finger on this truck!
And when Tenchi came down with the flu, Noike took over, making sure he got a lot of rest, while everyone else picked up the slack on chores.
How's Tenchi? Can I see him? Can I see him?
You are not allowed within 10 feet of Tenchi's room! Now make that 20, got it?
Oh, okay.
Good!
There's also this huge subplot revolving around Nuike, but you would have to watch the show. I'm not spoiling it. All in all, she's a great addition to the family. So, who's ready for some story time? There's been moments where Tenchi has reminisced about his mother, who passed away, back when he was a child. He remembers how warm she was, and how she cooked really good food. It's been almost 10 years since she passed away, until one day, Tenchi gets a visitor at the door. So he goes downstairs to find his mum standing there in the foyer. He drops down to his knees, he starts crying and everything, until it's revealed that this isn't his mum, this is his long-lost older sister, Tenyo. Tenyo explains that she used to swap places with their mum because they look exactly alike. So Tenchi was kind of happy, like he accepted it at the time, and just thought, I have an older sister, that's cool. Until it was time to tell him the truth about how his mother, Kione, passed away. So Tenchi fell over and hurt his leg, and Kione decides to climb up a mountainside to get some herbs to help alleviate some pain. Until she... Well, technically she didn't die from the fall. She got up, went down the mountain, and catched a bus to the hospital, covered in her own blood, scaring the shit out of the other passengers. Anyway, Tenchi got some measles, so she ran out again to get more herbs, until... Okay, she doesn't get hit by a car. Okay, for real? She died from old age. Just regular old age. At the age of 248 years old. So basically, her dying wish is to write 2 stories about how she died. Up in a mountain and being hit by a car. The reason? 'Cause it was funny. See, Kiona used to do some wacky shit. She did climb the side of a mountain to get some herbs, but she didn't have to do that because the herbs were like on a platform behind her, on flat ground. And when she used to read him storybooks, she used to doodle on the pages. One time while tucking in Tenchi, she doodled on his face. Until the day that she drew her last doodle and passed away. Tenchi didn't want to believe it, because, you know, that's his mum. You would want to believe that your mum was a nice person, until Nueke came along and told him about her past. See, she was left at a doorstep at an orphanage, and she was adopted by Lady Sato. She grew up and became a police officer, but at times she would think, why did her bio-mum leave her at the orphanage? It has to be some reason. Maybe she couldn't afford raising her, so she had to make the tough decision to leave her at the orphanage. Until one day, during a traffic stop, she so happened to meet her bio-mum. She ran the plates and there she was.
The story is when my father found out she was pregnant, he walked out on her. Then her next boyfriend wanted her to run off with him and she was afraid I'd get in the way. That's it.
That's all, really?
She actually expected me to be grateful. Well, looks like you turned out okay. You should thank me. It wasn't easy finding a good orphanage to take you. So what do you say you let me go just this one time? You'd be doing me a huge favor. I've got a man, a good one this time. I'd hate to lose him over some silly thing like this.
This basically gave Tenchi clarity. All of the great attributes that he put onto his mum was actually his stepmom. Not saying that he didn't love his bio-mum, but I guess it was just him trying to cope with the loss. Again, she's showing her worth in the family, unlike Irie, who was complaining that how could a mum do that to her son? Even though she was the one who signed off on it. Then again, you can't really trust Irie, considering that she tried to hit on Tenchi just because he was nice to her for a second, diving in, full mouth contact kissing, and not the regular kind of nana kisses. She let that shit linger. Yosho watched her do it. You know what? No. I'm gonna talk about her in the next video. Tenchi Muyo, GXP. Tune the fuck in or get the fuck out. I love you, Irie, but you can't be doing that shit. It's like she hasn't had a compliment or something. Fuck.